You may recall images like this from the Memorial Day weekend floods this year. This is video from Avenue A in Hyde Park, where several blocks flooded that weekend.
A lot of that water came from a retention pond nearby that overflowed. That, mixed with inadequate storm drains, left the water with very few places to go. So
what's being done to make sure ponds around the capital city are properly maintained? KXAN investigator Lindsey Bramson found out today there are few inspectors for the thousands of ponds in Austin.
It was astonishing to see the amount that was just going down the street.
It's a sight Lynn Wooldridge hopes to never see again. Water several inches high right outside her house on Avenue A in Hyde Park. Her daughter captured this historic video.
There is our raised bed. It's actually getting worse every year. I've never seen anything like what is happening.
According to the city's Watershed Protection Department, part of the problem was the Triangle retention pond just down the road.
During the Memorial Weekend floods, this retention pond at 45th Street in Guadalupe overflowed, causing heavy flooding in the area and surrounding neighborhoods.
The city of Austin is home to nearly 7,000 privately owned retention ponds, meant to hold the overflow during heavy rains. It's great if the ponds are maintained, but KXAN Investigates has learned there are only 4 inspectors, and the ponds are only checked every 3 years.
Most certainly, if we had more resources, we could, ensure that we were getting to more ponds more often. But right now, we're on a 3-year cycle.
City officials say they haven't received funding for additional inspectors in 8 years. They know areas like Hyde Park need improvements so that streets can better handle heavy downpours. But the price tag to do that, $18 million. Money Lynn hopes the city can find before the next flood is much worse. Lindsey Bramson, KXAN Investigates.
We reached out to the management with the Triangle development for comment, but our calls have not been returned. We did find out the Triangle Pond has received 1 violation for debris. That was after a storm in July of 2014. We also asked the city for the number of complaints filed against these retention ponds. Officials told us 148 calls were made to 311 in the last year because these ponds need fixes. And when it comes to violations, the owners of 297 private ponds were given a warning. Second notices were handed out to the owners of 34 ponds, and 1 owner received a final notice. Keep in mind, owners are required to maintain the private ponds.